Australia's biggest accounting firm, PwC, today said its chair, Tracy Kennair, and the chairman of its governance risk board, Paddy Carney, have stepped down in the wake of the ongoing tax leaks scandal. In addition, 9 of PwC's senior partners have been immediately sent on leave. Let's go now to Ross Greenwood for more. Ross, big changes. The heat is on, though, because effectively now they're going to find it pretty hard to get any of those big, lucrative government contracts.
Well, that's going to be one of the big issues, and you sense that it might have finally prompted PwC into taking this action, which is long overdue. There's no doubt. Kristin Stubbins, who is the acting chief executive, you might remember that its previous chief executive had also stood down in the wake of this scandal, has put out an open letter today in which she basically says, I apologise to the community, to the Australian government for breaching your confidentiality, to our clients for any questions you may have raised about our integrity and trustworthiness, and to the 10,000 hard-working, values-driven PwC partners. In this open letter, she says that there are 3 areas in which PwC has failed. It's had a clear lack of respect for confidentiality. Number 2, the PwC did not have adequate processes and governance in place. And number 3, the PwC had a culture at the time in its tax business that allowed inappropriate behaviour and has not until now always held its leaders and those involved to account. But the actions now taken also include trying to ring-fence its government relations business to try and make certain there is no perceived conflict of interest ongoing. But the pressure's ongoing, Tom, because not only will Treasury, where this information was leaked from originally, be facing Senate estimates in the next couple of days, but on top of that, the Prime Minister weighed in on Sydney radio today, speaking with John Laws. This is what he said about the PwC situation.
I think all of this should become public at the appropriate time. Of course, there are investigations underway, and I don't want to say anything to interfere with those processes. But quite clearly, what went on there is completely unacceptable. But it is a terrible indictment. Action is required, and it's appropriate that the authorities now undertake those tasks.
Of course, there have been strong calls from those in the Senate that 53 redacted names from a report from the Tax Practitioners Board be made public. Well, today, Kristin Stubbins, in the statement, effectively said that in regards to this, there has been an assumption that all of those names that have been redacted must necessarily have been involved in wrongdoing. This is incorrect. Based on our ongoing investigation, we believe the vast majority of the recipients of these emails are neither responsible for nor were knowingly involved in any confidentiality breach. But it still remains that the chair, as you point out, Tom, has already been stood aside, and indeed you can now see that 9 of these other partners at PwC have been sent on leave by the business, which suggests that their own investigations internally are turning up at least some of the accountability for this leaked information, who received it, and then what subsequently happened with that information.